What's going on, guys? It's Clutch Plays here, and today we're going to be doing 5 New York Knicks mock trades based around our picks in the 2020 NBA draft. With the NBA season over, the NBA draft is right around the corner in a bit under a month. The Leon Rose-led front office seems to have a tight-knit group and keeps their lips sealed about what the plans are with the team. However, recently Mark Berman came out and reported that 2 leaked sources told him that the Knicks are going to seriously consider trading down in the draft if Lamelo Ball or James Wiseman are not there at pick 8. On top of this, he said that the Knicks could be targeting Tyrese Maxey, which would be another reason for trading down in the draft. This is shocking for a couple of reasons, because if this rumor is true, it means that the Knicks are not sold on Mitchell Robinson as the future center because they would take James Wiseman with the 8th overall pick if he falls. This could mean that the Knicks would be willing to trade Mitch during the draft if the Warriors put together a package including their 2nd overall pick and the Timberwolves 2021 pick. Tell me down below in the comment section if you guys would accept that deal, because this could be a real possibility. Also, this means that the Knicks are not necessarily sold on Devin Vassell or Killian Hayes becoming franchise players for the Knicks. Personally, I feel the opposite for Killian Hayes and am a bit iffy on Devin Vassell, especially after seeing that video of his messed up shooting form. But if we know one thing for certain, is that Leon Rose wants to go after a disgruntled superstar through trade if the opportunity arises. Trading down in the draft could be a way for Leon to get more future picks to stash for when a superstar requests a trade out. The Chris Paul rumors have been pretty consistent, but recently Russell Westbrook to the Knicks seemed to gain a bit of steam with the media. I don't know if this report has any legitimacy, however, it may be the most idiotic report I have ever seen in the history of Knicks trade rumors. Westbrook coming to the Knicks would be the worst case scenario and absolutely destroy RJ's game completely. Also, this kind of destroys the development of all of our young players on the team too. Finally, the Knicks' interest in Lamelo Ball is real and the dream is still alive for all us Knicks fans. With the rumors coming out showing that the Knicks are looking to trade the pick, it only seems right to come up with 5 mock trades revolving moving up or down in the draft to get more picks or a future franchise player. If you like these trade videos, make sure you leave a like on the video and make sure you tell me down below if you agree or disagree with these trade scenarios, because I'm always interested in what you guys have to say. In the future, expect a lot more content on the NBA draft. Now let's get right into the 5 New York Knicks NBA draft mock trades. Number 1. Trade down with the Magic. The Knicks trade DSJ and the 8th overall pick to the Magic for the 15th pick and the Magic 2022 first round pick unprotected. This may be the biggest no-brainer trade down opportunity in the entire draft because both teams will benefit greatly in a trade down. To begin, the Magic have been looking for their future point guard and need more shooting badly, which is exactly what they can gain from a trade with the Knicks. The Knicks have a surplus at the point guard position with Elfrid Payton, Frank, and DSJ, but they are still in the market for a point guard, so none of these 3 players are a franchise point guard. Getting off of DSJ, who has a ton of potential but doesn't fit well in New York, is necessary before the draft as well. On top of this, the Knicks get the Magic 15th pick where they can take Tyrese Maxey if he falls, or a developmental point guard prospect like Tyrell Terry, who would fit perfectly on this Knicks team. The Magic 2022 pick is going to be a very good pick, but at some point they're going to have to be a bit risky and trade up for their future star. I have no faith in the Magic front office, so I 100% believe that this pick will be somewhere in the 12 to 18 range in the 2022 draft, which is rumored to be the double draft. This trade also allows the Knicks to further develop Mitch, RJ, Frank, Kevin, and Ignas while tanking next season to get a top pick in the loaded 2021 NBA draft. This trade makes complete sense, and if the Knicks are willing to be patient, they should 100% complete a trade like this. Number 2. Trade down with the Pelicans. The Knicks trade the 8th pick in DSJ for the Pelicans' 13th pick, the 39th pick, the Lakers' 2021 first round pick, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. In this trade, the Pelicans get a backup point guard with potential to be their starter in DSJ, and the 8th overall pick to get a great shooter like Devin Vassell to fill their huge void at shooting guard. On the other side of the trade, the Knicks are able to get a high 2nd round pick in this year's draft, which is always a good thing knowing Scott Perry is leading the draft. The Knicks also get a Lakers first round pick that has very little to the Pelicans after the Lakers just won the championship. However, if the Knicks can have 3 first round picks in the 2021 NBA draft, they will have all the ammo in the world to snag their franchise cornerstone. The Knicks have been rumored to want to put their focus towards the 2021 draft, which has unreal talent throughout the lottery. Finally, Nickeil Alexander-Walker has one of the smoothest shots in the entire NBA, and when he has played 30 plus minutes in New Orleans, he has put up all-star caliber numbers. Playing next to Lonzo and Brandon Ingram is not the best fit for Nickeil because he barely has any opportunity to facilitate for himself or his teammates. Nickeil would be a perfect fit next to RJ as he can space the floor very very well and will not take away many touches from him. Nikhil has a relatively weak frame, which will need to improve for him to be a much better player in the NBA. This move adds a guard with a ton of potential who, similar to DSJ, just doesn't fit with the future of their respective team. All in all, the Knicks get a plethora of assets for moving down in the draft 5 slots and giving up a player who would get no minutes with the Knicks in DSJ. Number 3, trade up with the Warriors. The Knicks trade the 8th pick, 27th pick, Pistons 2021 second round pick, and Frank Ntilikina to the Warriors for the 2nd overall pick to select Lamelo Ball. At some point, the Knicks are going to need to stop attaining young players and picks and use them to get franchise cornerstone type players. In this scenario, the Knicks give up the 8th, 27th, Pistons 2021 second round pick and Frank Ntilikina for Lamelo Ball. The Warriors get a lockdown defender who will be very valuable since the Warriors are slated for a deep playoff run while still getting draft picks to potentially trade for a star. The Knicks trade for a player in Frank who would be better off with a change of scenery and is slated to be their backup point guard for the most talented player in the draft. Lamelo Ball is exactly what the Knicks need with his playmaking that he will bring in and day out. The two big question marks about Lamelo's game are his shot and defensive intensity, but with Thibs as the coach, there is no doubt in my mind that Lamelo Ball will be playing defense for the Knicks. Now, the concerns with his shot have to do with his mechanics a bit, but more importantly, it's his shot selection. Lamelo has never played for a coach who has held him accountable for his terrible shots, which hopefully can change in the NBA. Now, that's by no means a guarantee though. However, Lamelo should be respected as a shooter next to RJ, which will not negatively affect the floor spacing for the Knicks. The Knicks need to shore up their point guard position sooner rather than later, and taking a massive shot on Lamelo Ball is worth it. Number 4, trade down with the Spurs. The Knicks trade Frank Ntilikina, Reggie Bullock, and the 8th overall pick to the Spurs for the 11th pick and the 2022 first round pick of the Spurs, top 4 protected. The Spurs are the perfect team for Frank, as Greg Popovich will be able to get every ounce of potential out of Frank. Also, the Spurs could use more shooting, which is exactly what Reggie Bullock adds, and they're also able to move up in the draft to get Isaac Okoro or Devin Vassell. Both of these players are small forwards with vast potential who will thrive with the Spurs developmental staff. The Knicks get 2 first-round picks by moving down in the draft and are still able to get a player like Tyrese Maxey or Devin Vassell if they fall in the draft. This is a safe position for the Knicks because they get more future picks that could be valuable while having the weight lifted off their shoulders that they need to hit big on the draft pick. Having 2 picks in the 2022 draft, which is slated to be a double draft where high school and college players will be put into one draft class, will be huge. The Spurs may win a bit more in this trade, and a second round pick or another young player may need to be added. Number 5, trade down with the Kings. The Knicks trade the 8th pick, DSJ, and the 38th pick to the Kings for the 12th pick and a 2022 first round pick, top 4 protected. In this trade, the Kings are able to jump the Spurs and Suns to pick number 8 to select their future small forward. The Kings are in no man's land right now and need to get more talent surrounding De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. No one wants to sign with the Kings, and they have to overpay players completely, as seen by Harrison Barnes' awful contract. So trading for a star or attaining one final great young piece to surround your young core before they begin to compete for the playoffs should be on the Kings' mind. The Knicks are looking to move back and are able to create a package for 2 first-round picks. The 12th pick still allows us to get Tyrell Terry or Tyrese Maxey, and we get a first-round pick in 2022 that could be a very valuable pick in the rumored double draft. This will be huge for not only building our young core, but building up assets to trade up in the draft if we find a young player that we absolutely are in love with. Getting more picks and moving down eases the pressure for a draft pick to be a star, which is always a good thing because playing in New York, there's going to be pressure everywhere. The Knicks get more valuable picks, which is exactly what they need in a possible trade down scenario. These are the 5 draft pick trade scenarios, and some of these trades may seem a bit harsh, but I'm about ready to propose these trades if I'm the Knicks front office. Tell me what you guys think about these trades and if you think that the Knicks should make them. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. Now with that said, I'm out and peace!